Primary, Alexis Reed. Lane 7 from Roland Edwards, Carissa Graham. And in lane 8, representing St. Christopher Primary, Samaria Best. Lanes 2 to 8. And they're chasing that 13.30 record, zone record, set in 2012. But today, the fastest time thus far was set by Nevaeh Winfield of Christchurch Girls in 14.36 seconds. They're on the starter's orders. And it's a good, clean start.
Oh, she had a quick start there. Naya Harvey of Christchurch Girls. She had a really quick start. She got out and she's really making the best of it. She will finish up in first position.
Second, yes, Carissa Graham of Roland Edwards was second, 13.87.
Yes.
Whoa, that's a good time.
Yes, 13.87, fastest so far.
By a mile as well. 13.87.
Yes, I think she capitalized. If we see the I want you to watch carefully. Let's just watch.
There she goes.
There.
Yes.
Yeah, she was out quick, really quick.
And powerful there.
Yeah,
very powerful young lady. And there she goes, driving her arms and legs. And second
link to Carissa
Graham of Roland Edwards. Yeah.
Did we get the time?
We only got the first 13.87 seconds.
So the Roland Edwards Falcons. Yes. Okay. Third and final section coming up here for the girls. Gia Joseph of St. Ambrose in 2. In 3, Zanavia Vandenberg of Roland Edwards. In 4, Aaliyah Kamabach of St. Giles. 5, Michaela Seal of People's Cathedral. Jasmine Proverbs of St. Matthews in 6. And in 7, Kiana Chandler of Ignatius Bar. They're off and running, looking good there. I'm seeing one of the Falcons from Roland Edwards, Vandenberg. She's looking good. And they're from Ignatius Bar, Kiana Chandler. No, that's Proverbs of St. Matthews. Will finish up in second. 14.75. The winning time for Vandenberg of Roland Edwards.
Yeah, so it is easy then to say that Naya Harvey of Christchurch Girls in that 13.87 seconds. She was easy winner there.
So that will give Christchurch Girls another 10 points. Here we saw the winner there from that third section crossing. That was Zanavia Vandenberg of Roland Edwards. 14.81 is the official time for her. Proverbs finished second in that section with a 15.06 seconds.
So that means Christchurch Girls got the double there, where Nevaeh Winfield ran 14.36. So Harvey ran 13.87 and Winfield 14.36. So that should be a 1-2 there for the Christchurch Girls team.
Oh yes, that's wonderful for them. I think all that will do is extend their lead even more. This is our first of only 2 sections for the under 13 boys. Malik Yearwood of Roland Edwards in 1. In 2, Zaire Messiah of St. Stephen's. In 3, Malik Newsom Hinkson of St. Lucie Primary. In 4, Shamario Leacock of St. Matthews. In 5, Sean Roberts of St. Christopher. In lane 6, Kaimani Boyce of People's Cathedral. In 7 is Giovanni Harewood Selman of St. Ambrose. And in lane 8, Nathan Clark of St. Giles Primary. They're chasing the record of 12.52 set by Ethan Hart back in 2020.
And they're off and running as a good, clean start. Here we can see from St. Christopher, it looks like Sean. Is it Sean or is that Sion? Pronunciation here, but he's definitely going to win. He wins it from on the inside. Zaire Messiah of St. Stephen's running in second.
So that's a victory for Roberts.
13.82 seconds.
Rounded to 13.85.
13.85.
Second will go to Messiah, 14.52. And third to Clark, 14.62 seconds.
Nathan Clark, 14.62 seconds.
Those are top 3 from that first section. A good run from Roberts of St. Christopher. Looking strong.
13.85. I mean, if you look at the times, The young lady ran 13.87. Okay, so we're moving on to the second and final installment here for the under 13 boys in lane 1. Representing St. Lucie Primary, Ronaldo Batiste. Lane 2. Representing People's Cathedral, Nasri Batiste. Is there any relation? We don't know. From St. Matthew's in lane 3, Romaine Gill. In lane 4, Trevion Clark from St. Giles Primary. In lane 5, from St. Stephen's Primary, Tavion Haynes. In lane 6, from St. Ambrose Primary, Christopher John. Lane 7, from Roland Edwards Primary, that is Aziz Bourne. And in lane 8, another Bourne, Joshua Bourne from St. Christopher Primary. And they're being recalled. We remember seeing Nasri Batiste. We've seen him already for the day. He ran in the 800 meters. But he comes back here. Let's see. Starter, Basil Cox. They're speaking to Trevion Clark of St. Giles. Just get him to settle. I think he was a little anxious. And away they go for this. The under 13 boys, 100 meters. And in the business, it looks a very close race. Very tight. It looks
tight.
like Clark of St. Giles.
Don't rule out lane 8.
Lane 8, Joshua Bourne of St. Christopher Primary, 13:73 is the flash time thus far. That is Clark.
Do you have the winner?
Looks like 13.73 seconds.
Seven. Now we're on to 13:77 for Clark.
13:77 for Clark. Bourne, he ran 13:86.
Haynes 13:87.
And Haynes of St. Stephen's throwing his hat in the ring. So let's see. So definitely we have Trevion. Yeah, so here, Trevion Clark, 13:77 would be the fastest time and the winner. So that's valuable points for St. Giles Primary. Second, with a time of 13.85, this is Young Roberts of St. Christopher Primary. And very tight there with Joshua Bourne of St. Christopher Primary in a time of 13.86 seconds. So that was
14 points going to St. Christopher,
St. Christopher boys. Yes.
Yes, they're looking really impressive here so far.
So
I was told that the bar in the high jump is now at 1.20 meters. That's the boys' high jump competition going on. 1.20 meters.
And remember, the girls jump 1.35. So let's see if the boys will be able to jump more than the girls. Yes. We're moving on now to the under 11s going this 100 meters. And we will have 3 time finals. And they'll be chasing a time of 13.79 seconds set in 2012 by Rishona Padmore, then of Arthur Smith Primary. That's back in 2012. That's
remember that name as well.
Rishona Padmore.
I think she went on to either Foundation or Springer Memorial, one of those two. I think it was Foundation.
I'm sure someone will let us know in the stream. We can see just getting them there. Lane 4 looks as though it's maybe empty, but a good day here thus far. Competition is being keenly contested. We have 2 records going down so far for the day, Michael. There's with the high jump for the under 13 girls, and maybe the young man he broke a record as well. I can't remember the event, but for sure we have the high jump record by Bourne from the Christchurch girls team. 1.35 meters. So they're coming up for the under 11 girls. In lane 1, representing St. Luke's Academy, Sarah Marie Martin. In lane 2 from the St. Matthew's team, this looks like Anita Holder. So we can see, it looks like lane 1 is empty. So we're going to go without her. In lane 3 from People's Cathedral, Joanna Rind. In lane 5, representing Christchurch Girls, this is Naya Prue Seeley. In lane 6 from St. Christopher Primary, Adria Kinch. And out in lane 7, Diamond Kelman. This is the first time we're hearing Diamond for the day. Diamond Kelman from Roland Edwards Primary. Remember, Diamond was very dominant in the under 9 last year. I think that was it. Yes, Diamond Kelman. So she goes here in lane 7. So we're just taking a look here. Yes, the young lady from St. Lucie Primary. She wasn't there on the line just now, but she's now joined us. This is Anaya Boyce of St. Lucie Primary.
She looks very ready.
She looks ready. So they're going to go, I think lane 1 is empty. So yes, St. Luke's Academy. It doesn't go, so we're going to start with Anita Holder, Joanna Rind, Anaya Boyce, Naya Prue Seeley, Adria Kinch, and Diamond Kelman. The contest, the first of 3-time finals. I'm going to go here with Diamond Kelman. I'm going to go. I'm going to. And it's a good start. On the outside, Kelman. On her inside is Adria Kinch. But it is Kelman. Diamond Kelman. Yes, for sure. Wins it easily. Second goes to Kinch of St. Christopher Primary.
15.10 the flash time for Kelman.
Yes,
Diamond Edwards. You'll see the replay here. Great form by this young lady, maintaining her focus, looking straight ahead. 15.13 for Kelman. Kinch 15.91 in second, and Seeley of Christchurch Girls 16.21 for third position. Those are top 3. 15.13 the time to beat. Getting ready for a second section here. Kamaya Lashley of Christchurch Girls in 1, Soraya Harding of St. Ambrose in 2, Adele Edgel of St. Luke's in 3, Khadija Eiffel of St. Matthew's in 4, Adaya Kamabach of St. Giles in 5. In lane 6, Ava Yearwood Rock of St. Stephen's, and in 7, Khaleesi Marshall of Charles F. Broome. Now, you would be wondering, why is a competitor from Charles F. Broome in this particular event? So, Khaleesi Marshall, she represented the country in a sport, and so it was agreed that she will come and compete. She would get a performance for her age group. She will not get any points, but her performance will match up against her particular zone and see if she can go forward.
And she's running her heart out here, out in lane 7 from Charles F. Broome.
She won it.
Yes, Khaleesi Marshall.
So that's a 15.50 for Marshall. So what will happen? That time
does not go for it here.
Right. So that's rounded to 15.56 for Marshall. Harding 16.03 seconds. So that actually will be the first in this section.
Soraya Harding.
Again, Marshall running for a time. Good. So that 15.50 is going to go 15.56 is going to go up against the under 11 girls in the zone that Charles F. Broome competed in, and see if it's good enough to take her forward. Okay.
So the third and final installment here now, representing St. Giles Primary, Shakaya Elliott. In lane 2, in lane 3 from St. Christopher Primary, Deanna Burrows, we saw her earlier. In lane 4 from St. Stephen's Primary, Trinity Watts Small. In lane 5, representing People's Cathedral, it is Kaya Serrano. Lane 6 from St. Lucie Primary, Gabrielle Payne. Lane 7, representing St. Ambrose Primary, Taylor Tull Bostic, I beg your pardon. And then lane 8, representing the Roland Edwards team, Naya Daniel. Let's see. Yes, and again, Mike, remember how these young ladies are positioned. You know, this is young Deanna Burrows of St. Christopher. If you see how she was angled, the way she was angled, it looks as though she would run from straight. Yes, from lane 3 into lane 4.
Yes, you could see that earlier clock.
Yes. So there she is still. Got them to stand again, and there you see. I'm sure Basil has seen that.
Yes, he's trying to direct her to go straight.
Yes,
rather than rather
and
than
see where she was going.
Yes,
yes.
Thank you. So hopefully she'll be able to get it right.
Yes.
This time around.
And away they go this time, and they're thundering down the lane, and it is Burrows of St. Christopher Primary on her outside from Roland Edwards, Naya Daniel. Here's the wire, very tight. It looks like Naya Daniel may just have got home. We will take a look at that one. 15.31 seconds. That's a very good run there. 15.31, very tight there between Naya Daniel. Yeah.
See the young lady from People's Cathedral. A bit of problems. However, now you recall these two young ladies competed early, and the same thing happened.
Yes.
I think you were off air at that time when the young lady from St. Christopher, who continued to look to her right instead of keeping her head straight. She did the same thing here again. So here's where the coaches...
15.33 for Burrows.
Yes. Although Burrows won, I think Burrows can run a little faster. She would look straight ahead of her.
Yes. 15.34. And 15.67 to Watt Small.
Yes. So we once you're done with the under 11 boys, though, we have some news to share. 2 new records. First of 3 sections here for the under 11 boys. Sobers in 2, Gooden in 3, Aline in 4, Aline in 5, and Holder in 6. We also have Lovell in 7.
So they got them to, this was a false start.
So they'll come again. Zion Sobers of St. Lucie Primary in lane 2. Chiron Gooden of Roland Edwards in lane 3. In lane 4 is Rosario Aline of St. Matthews. Lane 5, Kai Aline of St. Ambrose. Lane 6, Kaimani Holder of St. Christopher. And lane 7, Matthew Lovell of St. Giles. And these guys are chasing the zone record of 13.82 established by Josiah Gill of St. Gabriel's back in 2020.
Remember Josiah Gill.
Under 11 boys, the first of 3 timed finals. On the starters' orders, and they're off. A good start this time. Let's see who's going to do the early running from St. Giles. That looks like Matthew Lovell out in lane number 7. Matthew Lovell all the way to the finish. He will finish up in first. Let's see the time for Lovell.
15.17. Yes. Looks like that's the flash time. 15.17 seconds.
So Lovell finishing up in first and giving the others the time to run for. The replay here. While we watch the replay, we can tell you a new record was established by Jamani Barker Bradshaw. I think we gave you that already in the under 9 boys long jump, 3.37 meters. And Haley Bourne Skeet, Christchurch girls, officially a new mark in the high jump, 1.35 meters. So that those coming to you already.
Yes, and we moving on to the second of these three-time finals in lane 2, representing St. Stephen's Primary, Kalik Calendar. In lane 3 from St. Giles Primary, this is Kaneja. Is that right? Kaneja Hoyt, St. Giles Primary. Shea Gill goes there for the St. Christopher Primary from St. Ambrose Primary in lane 5. Here we go, and it's a run here. Looks like out in lane 7. Keon Morris of People's Cathedral coming through on the inside. Oh, that's very tight. Kalik Calendar of St. Stephen's Primary. Looked as though he just got home. 15.68 seconds. Calendar.
Yes, that was a lot slower than the first one, 15.71 rounded for Calendar. Gale second, 15.84. You can see that replay again. Guys were tussling for a position there. On the inside from St. Stephen's, Calendar leaning at the line slightly and winning that one, 15.71. So
I mean, the under 11 girls are running faster than the boys.
Well, you know, we have seen this.
That, yeah.
One more section to come for you.
Yes, in lane 2 from Ignatius Bayer, this is Torian Collymore. In lane 4 from St. Stephen's Primary, Damari Taylor. Lane 5 representing Roland Edwards, that is Sayer Payne, and he got a brilliant beginning there. Then is the Marcus Hinkson of St. Lucy Primary in lane 6 and lane 7. Taimani Mears of People's Cathedral. But here, storming through in lane 4, the Mary Taylor of St. Stephen's Primary. 15.34 seconds is the flash time. And he continues to run away. 15.34. The time, 15:37, 15:58 for Mears of the People's Cathedral running in second, and that was your replay there. So that's it for the under 11 girls and boys, and we're moving on to the under 9s now.
Before we move to the under 9s, though, I have some points. The girls, St. Matthew's Primary, they're on 3 points. St. Luke's Academy on 4. St. Lucy, 5. Ignatius Bayer, 6. People's Cathedral, 14 points. St. Ambrose, 28 points. St. Giles, 33. Roland Edwards, 35. St. Christopher, 40. St. Stephen's, 55. Listen to this, Neil. Leading the girls at this stage with 128 points, Christchurch girls. I won't even say, I will dare say. I don't think there's anything daring. It's clear that Christchurch girls will repeat as the James Wedderburn Zone champions. 128 points to 55. Unassailable. The boys standings, St. Luke's Academy 4, People's Cathedral 5, Ignatius Bayer 10, St. Matthew's 17, St. Lucy 27, St. Ambrose 37, Roland Edwards 42, St. Christopher 63, St. Stephen's 85, and St. Giles Primary 100 points. So this one I won't call yet, because 15 points is nothing to get. One race, you can get 18 points.
Yes, and even they're coming up to the relays as well.
Exactly. So this one I won't call. I will say, of course, I would want my alma mater, St. Giles, to win. But St. Giles will have to fight hard and hang in there in the boys section. Right now they're leading by 15 points. St. Stephen's on 85. St. Christopher looking like they will lose the whole of that championship which they won last year. 63 points.
All right, so we're moving on to the under 9s, and it's a good clean start. They have Henningham, Boyce, Jordan, Yearwood, Phillips. But on the outside, Livia Ford of Christchurch.
Oh,
Girls,
yes.
look at her storm away.
Yes. That little one. 16:04 the flash time for Livia Ford of the Green Machines. Sandals.
Oh, yes, that was a very good run.
Sandals must be very pleased with that performance.
Yes, that was
sure.
a very good run. We're just looking to see who would have picked up that second position. Very tight there, but it looks like from St. Stephen's Primary, Zarina Brathwaite, who may have just picked up that second position. Now we're moving on to the second of these team finals.
In lane number 2, Azaria Burrows, St. Stephen's. In lane 3,
In lane
Douglas McLean.
1, representing, so she's not there, I should say. In lane 2, representing St. Stephen's Primary, Azaria Burrows. Lane 3, representing Christchurch Girls, Soraya Douglas McLean. Lane 4 from Roland Edwards Primary, Trenaya Bino Simpson. Lane 5, representing St. Giles Primary, is Acadia Hackett. Lane 6, Ramira Lawrence of St. Ambrose Primary. And in lane 7, Samira Jones of St. Lucie Primary. Remember, they're chasing that time of 14.99 seconds, set by Alexis Maskell in 2017. And is a powerhouse here, Soraya Douglas McLean of Christchurch Girls. She is thundering down the lane, and she will win this one now. 15:42 is the flash time. Soraya Douglas McLean, 15.42 seconds.
Oh, yes. Of course, we remember Alexis Maskell of Hinesbury. She ended up being a division champion throughout her NAPSAC years, and then she went on to BSAC and did the same thing.
Yes.
She also ended up representing Barbados at Carifta. I think she is back at school now, probably in sixth form. And remember her starting out as a little 4-year-old. Yes, and she kept going all the way.
And we're on to the final installment here in the
Under nines.
Under 9s.
Okay, so we have Maya Grant of St. Ambrose in lane 1. In lane 2, Eden Watson of St. Luke's Academy. In lane 3, Shanaria Proverbs of St. Matthews. In lane 4, Emily King-Byer of St. Christopher. In lane 5, Nazaria Watson of Roland Edwards. And in lane 6, Kamaya Seeley of People's Cathedral. Also in lane 7 is Sky Drayton of St. Giles Primary. This is our final section for the under 9 girls. Fastest time so far, 15:44. Soraya Douglas McLean of Christchurch Girls.
Yes.
They're off and running here. Let's see who's going to do the early running. Looks pretty even at this stage. I would have to say between St. Giles and People's. Yes, People's Cathedral. That's Kamaya Seeley of People's Cathedral, the winner there. 17:09. Yes, not as quick as that first section. Believe our winner will come then from the first section. Second section, sorry. Soraya Douglas McLean of Christchurch Girls. That 15.44 seconds will earn her the overall victory. So again, more points. Neil?
More points.
Well, I think we won't flog a dead horse at all. It's done and dusted there for Christchurch Girls.
And now we have the
on the 9 boys. They're up. Aha. This guy, Amir Gustav of Bear Primary, he also is one who came up through the ranks. Yes. He holds the mark of 14.99 seconds. He established that record in 2017.
Yeah. No, 2012.
Sorry, hold on. 14.53.
40.53.
14.53 in 2012, yes.
Yes, so representing St. Luke's Academy, Takeri Francis, in lane 2. Lane 3 from St. Giles Primary, Johnny Foster, lane 4 from St. Christopher Primary. That is Suzik Seeley. Lane 5 representing the People's Cathedral, that's Riley King. And we can see this is a very good race. Jair Stout of St. Stephen's also there, but out in lane 7, representing Roland Edwards Primary, that is Kai McCollin, and he gets home. Kai McCollin of Roland Edwards Primary in a time of 16.25 seconds. The flash time down to 16.29 seconds. 16.74 for Francis.
Foster 16.74 is
15.74 for Foster and 16.81 for Seeley.
In lane number 3, Krishan Samuels.
16.81. So these are the times, and now we have here the second of these 3-time finals. In lane 2, representing St. Matthews, that is Natari Davis Hart. Natari Davis Hart Yearwood. This is a lot of name. Natari Davis Hart Yearwood from St. Matthews. In lane 3, Krishan Samuels from St. Ambrose. Lane 4 from St. Luke's Academy. Basile Bonduel. In lane 5, Lamar Husbands from Roland Edwards. Jaden Carmichael goes here for St. Giles Primary. And out in lane 7, Nazari Brathwaite of St. Lucie Primary, as they've been recalled.
Yes, the young man over there, Natari Davis Hart Yearwood of St. Matthews. Yes.
He has a lot of name. Yeah. Natari Davis Hart Yearwood.
So they're off to a good start this time. Good start from Samuels of St. Ambrose. And leading, it looks like Husbands of Roland Edwards. Yes, Husbands. Nice and easy. And he will take that section quite comfortably. Lamar Husbands of Roland Edwards, 16:61.65. The time, 16.65 for Husbands. Carmichael, 17:42 in second, and third to Davis Hart Yearwood, 17.92.
This is also the final 100-meter dash.
Here's the replay, showing you that lad, nice and comfortable. Lamar Husbands,
In lane number 2,
no threat whatsoever.
I think he could have gone a lot faster there, Michael. But his teammate ran 16:29 in the first one, so could be a 1-2. That's what they'll be eyeing. But they're moving on now to the third and final installment here, representing St. Lucie Primary. Renico Edwards from St. Lucie Primary, representing St. Matthews. Jamani Barker Bradshaw in lane 3. In lane 4 from St. Ambrose Primary, Byron Wright. In lane 5, Josiah Pompey Justin from St. Christopher Primary. And then in lane 6, Kyrie Babb of St. Stephen's Primary in lane 6. And out in lane 7, King Hunt Eiffel. King Hunt Eiffel.
The lad from St. Christopher seems bothered that he was stopped. He was flying. He was really
He
flying.
was already in his...
Yes, he was flying there, and, you know, being asked to stop, he was a little bothered there. So we have, over at the high jump, one competitor left. The bar is at 1.30 meters. Yes.
Much lower than the girls. And
well, if he clears, there's one left. He'll probably keep going.
It's a good, clean start, and I can see Kyrie Babb. I know they must be jumping. I know his dad, Henry, he must be cheering at the top of his voice. Kyrie Babb wins it there for St. Stephen's Primary. Very good run there. We're just looking for the flash time. Not coming up there, but it was Babb pulling away with this one here for the boys in the under 9 as we take a look at the replay.
Slow start from the lad from St. Lucie.
Yes, he lost all of his chances there, but Bob wins this. Not getting the flash time. So a very good run there by young Bob. And second was from St. Matthews, Jamani Barker Bradshaw. So that completes the under 9 boys.
So those are the hundreds done?
Hundreds done and dusted.
Okay.
Now we have the cricket ball throw going on here for, it looks like the under 13 girls. Could be the under 13 girls in the cricket ball throw. But next on the track should be the 200 meters.
Okay, so we're moving along well. You know, when we get to this stage, we feel very happy. We are just about 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
And we have the 200s, the 150s, and then we get into the relays.
The relays, yes.
Yeah, so winding down what has been a really great day here. Of course, this is action coming to you live from the Usain Bolt Sports Complex. This is the Chef Foods Knapsack 2026. Today, it is the turn of the Holiday Bermudez James Wedderburn Zone. Tomorrow, we'll see action in the Milo Obadele Thompson Zone. On Wednesday, Wabisco Frida Nichols Zone. Thursday, Brunswick Tropical Rhythms Always Ryan Brathwaite Zone. And on Friday, Rubis Eastern Caribbean Andrea Blackett Zone.
Right.
Of course, our semifinals, Friday the 6th of March, and then the following Friday, the 13th of March, will be the finals of the Chef Foods Knapsack 2026.
Yes.
So the last set of points we receive, we noted that the Christchurch girls are well ahead and on their way to victory. The boys' championship, however, that's in the air. St. Giles holding on to a 15-point lead. St. Christopher lying in second. St. Stephen's in there as well. So that's what the action is like here at the Usain Bolt Sports Complex as we watch some of the girls in the cricket ball throw. The 200s seem to
ready
be
to go.
Ready. Who we will have up first? The under 13 girls. Shantae Cole of Grisette's Primary. She holds this record as well. 26.86 seconds, established in 2012.
2012.
And we'll see in this field, Gia Joseph of St. Ambrose. She's in 2. In 3, Tyra Carter of Roland Edwards. In lane 4, Shazaria Messiah Toby of St. Giles. In lane 5, Selena Husbands Cozier of St. Stephen's. Lane 6, Samaria Best of St. Christopher. And in lane 7, Gabrielle Reed of the People's Cathedral.
I think we've seen Gabrielle Reed before. We've also seen Tyra Carter for the day and Selena Husbands Cozier. We've seen them and Gia Joseph. So they're all coming back here. Yes. And that's a new kit for the team from Empire Club Mango Bay and Deontay Exquisite Lighting St. Ambrose Primary. Yes, a new kit this year. So
3 sponsors.
3 sponsors.
Yes,
so
that's great.
thank you very much to the new sponsors there for the St. Ambrose team. Right. So they're just standing also in the background there. We can see the long jump is also in progress. And they're now coming on the starters orders for the
Under 13 girls.
Under 13 girls, 200 meters.
Off to a great start. St. Stephen's had a good edge. Selena Husbands Cozier
Oh, they called him
well,
back.
there we
Yes,
go.
yeah.
I felt
It felt that way.
Yes,
Yes, yeah.
When I say she had a good age, I didn't really
I
want,
want to see it.
Yeah. Yes.
A bit overzealous at the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she'll be called back and get a warning. That's the athlete in lane 5 from St. Stephen's. We should see the starter going in her direction. Okay, so they're gonna try again. Joseph Carter, Messiah Toby, Husbands Cozier, Best, and Reed. Again, some problems. I believe they will be called back.
Yes.
So the thing is, Neil, and I said this before. Now, if you get a race where one of the starters is left in the blocks, that does not constitute a false start.
It doesn't.
And there's no need for you to call back.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Okay?
That's a fact.
Yes, so we got to be clear with the rules when it comes to starting. If you start after the set position, if you move after the set position, then, but once the gun goes, if you are left napping, well,
that's it for
you're
you.
left napping.
Yeah. Talk about napping, Michael. You were following the cricket as well in the T20.
Well, I know that the West Indies is in the Super 8.
Yes, well, West Indies scored 254 for 6 in their 20 overs, and Zimbabwe is struggling now, 145 for 9.
Wow.
So West Indies should be en route to winning this. Zimbabwe needs 110 runs in 18 balls. So, so the West Indies doing pretty well.
That's like me winning an Olympic medal next Olympics. Will not happen.
Will not happen. So
okay, so we're gonna try for the third time. Under 13 girls, 200 meters, first of 3-time finals.
That's a good one.
This is a good one. It's kind of slow start there for Best of St. Christopher. Struggling here is Joseph of St. Ambrose on the inside. Looking good though from St. Stephen's Primary. Selena Husbands Cozier rounding the turn.
Yeah, she's on top.
And coming into the straightaway now, it is all Selena Husbands Cozier out St. Stephen's Primary all the way. There's going to be no stopping Selena Husbands Cozier, and she's going to barely hold on. Fast finishing there in 3 is Tyra Carter of Roland Edwards. So the time is up, 32.80. 32.80. Carter, 33.51 for that second place, and Bess, 34.33. Those are top 3.
This is really slow times. Considering the time of 26.86 set by Shante Cole from Grizette's Primary back in 2012. Now on the track, the second of these time finals, going for Roland Edwards in lane 2. Zenavia Vandenberg, she's in lane 2, then out in lane 4. We saw this young lady very quick in the 100. This is Naya Harvey from Christchurch Girls.
Oh, yes. This is a powerful young lady we were talking about.
Yes, we are. Then Jemiah Gittins from People's Cathedral is in lane 5. Lane 6, Emily Selman from St. Lucie Primary. And out in lane 7, Tawana Dowridge Gill of St. Matthew's Primary. Oh, they're going down in the starters' orders. On the starters' orders. And away they go. It's a good clean start. Again, we can see Naya Harvey of Christchurch Girls. She's made up the stagger. Yes, she has, and she's powering out with 100 meters to go. Coming through on her inside, Zenavia Vandenberg of Roland Edwards, giving her a bit of competition. They thunder down the lane, and it is Naya Harvey of Christchurch Girls. She should get home here. She does that now in second position. Zenavia Vandenberg of Roland Edwards, and in the top 3, Tawana Dowridge Gill of St. Matthews.
30.96. That's the winning time for Harvey from the Christchurch Girls. Vandenberg 31. 53 for second, and Dorridge Gill 32.16. So those are the top three.
Yep, this was a lot quicker than the first race.
And I think she can even go faster. You saw over the last 60, 70 meters,
Started to fade.
yes. And that's where she should really be speeding up and going. Final section coming up. Time to beat here, 30.96 seconds. Jasmine Proverbs of St. Matthews is in 2. In lane 3, Alexis Reed of St. Lucie. In lane 4, Delicia Abraham of St. Giles. Lane 5, Dominique Thompson of Christchurch Girls. Look out for her. Lane 6, Azaria Lynch of St. Ambrose. And in lane 7, Akila Reese of St. Stephen's. They're off and running. As we say, Dominique Thompson of Christchurch Girls. She had she went out flying.
Yes,
but they were called back.
Yes.
So we expect a decent performance from Thompson.
Yes, she's already, I think she won the 100. It was on the 400.
And her teammate here, Harvey, posting the best time so far.
30.96 seconds.
I think they will have a really strong medley relay team.
Yes, and 4.1. So,
yes.
Yeah,
in definitely in the under 13 girls category.
Yes.
Yes. Christchurch Girls, they make business.
Yeah, they were very prepared here today. Saw my good friend Dwight Carter. He was outside there cheering on his team, and they're very happy with the performances thus far. And away they go. It's a good clean start. Jasmine Proverbs, Reed, Abraham, Thompson, Lynch, and Reese. But there goes Dominique Thompson, Michael. She's making up the stagger, but giving her that competition on the outside is Akila Reese of St. Stephen's.
Yes.
So Reese of St. Stephen's, she's not going to let this go down without a fight. She is a very strong young lady out in lane 7. Akila Reese of the St. Stephen's team. What a run.
30.52 seconds for Reese.
30.52.
Yes, that's going to do it.
Oh, that does it. Oh, she upstages Naya Harvey of Christchurch Girls. 30.52. Second was Thompson in 31.49 seconds.
Abraham finishing in third, 32.98 seconds.
Okay, so we can see that first will go to Reese.
So that's 10 points for St. Stephen's.
Second will be Naya Harvey
Lane number 4 from St. Matthews
of Christchurch Girls, and third,
31.49.
yes, Dominique Thompson of Christchurch Girls.
So double points going to Christchurch Girls again.
Second and third.
One. That's 14 points.
14 points there.
Okay, as we get ready for the under 13 boys, they're chasing Ethan Hart's record, established in 2020, 25.23.
Wow.
That's a lot of toes, man. In lane 1, Arico Clinton of St. Giles. We saw him earlier.
Yes.
Joshua Bourne of St. Christopher in 2. Micah Cumberbatch of People's Cathedral. He's not there. In lane 4, Shaquille Dyer of St. Matthews. In lane 5, Tavion Haynes of St. Stephen's. In lane 6, Giovanni Herwood Selman of St. Ambrose. In lane 7, Malik Newsom Hinkson of St. Lucy's Primary. And in lane 8, Azizi Bourne of Roland Edwards. They're off to a great start. On the inside, Arico Clinton of St. John's Primary trying to make the stagger up. St. Christopher's Joshua Bourne is not allowing him to do so. He is doing most of the running now as they spin out the turn into the straightaway. In lane 6, Giovanni Herwood Selman of St. Ambrose. But the battle is on. Joshua Bourne of St. Christopher, and not giving up is Arico Clinton, but he will have to settle for second position. Yes. Bourne of St. Christopher, 29.63 seconds
pretty good
for him. 30.03 Clinton of St. Giles, third going to Haynes, 30.90.
From People's Cathedral, Hakeem
Okay, that's a good run there with Joshua Bourne. Decent run, 29.63.
Far cry from 25.
As you say, there's a special talent there.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Ethan Hart. So we're moving on now to the second and final installment here for the boys in the under 13 category. As we can hear the track announcer giving the starters. So yes, so we're just looking at the athletes as they leave the track, and the others will be with us momentarily. And they're already on the starters' orders. Gill, Price, Jackman, Denny Brathwaite, Hines, Clark, Brown, and John. And away they go. That's a good clean start. On the outside, we're going to be looking at Trevion Clark from St. Giles Primary. Also coming through on the inside from St. Matthews, Romaine Gill as they spin off the bend. And it is Trevion Clark of St. Giles Primary. He is large and in charge and will report home. Trevion Clark wins it. Very tight for second between Romaine Gill of St. Matthews and Josiah Brown of St. Stephen's. 28.82 seconds was the flash time. Puts him on top. That's Trevion Clark. If that time holds, he will be victorious in the under 13 boys.
Definitely 28.82 from Clark. And we'll watch him again. Here, spinning out the turn. Has to do some work on his arms.
Yes. He's under 13, so he's already pretty much advanced. Well, I mean, when I say advanced, for the up to the at the primary school level, we didn't catch a second time, but definitely that should put Clark winning there some more points for the St. Giles Primary.
So West Indies has won already.
Yes,
won by 107 runs.
Yeah. So we have the girls now on the track for the under 11. The under 11 girls.
Okay. So in this first section, we're gonna see the young lady from Charles F. Broome going again, trying to run for time. Khaleesi Marshall, she'll be in 8. To Haley Tull-Bostic of St. Ambrose in 7. In 6, Gabrielle Payne of St. Lucie. In 5, Kamaya Lashley of Christchurch Girls. They're called back. Nia Daniel of Roland Edwards in 4. Shamaya Walks of St. Stephen's in 3. And Catalia Williams of People's Cathedral in lane 2. So this is under 11 girls, the first of 3 time finals in the 200 meters. 28.55 the time, the record established in 2018 by Tania Applewaite of St. Giles. 28.55.
Yes, 28.55. I think they will have to do a bit of running to get there. But we've seen Khaleesi Marshall from Charles F. Broome. She ran unopposed. There she had a pretty decent time. Remember, her time goes towards the overall picture.
So here we go. Off and running here, looking good. I am seeing that blue outfit, not anymore. Roland Edwards, Daniel coming into the straightaway. Remember her, good strides. Look out for Marshall on the outside. Marshall and Daniel chasing each other down. close to the wire. A good effort from Nia Daniel of Roland Edwards. She kept her form.
Yes.
Didn't look left or right. 31.64 the time for Daniel. Marshall will post at 31.99. Of course, that will compare to the zone. Charles F. Broome zone. And 33.85 Lashley of Christchurch Girls finishing up in third position in
Shakaya
that
Elliott in
section.
lane number 5 from St. Christopher.
So-
Deanna Burrows in lane number 6 from St.
On the
Matthews.
11
Anita
girls,
Holder, and
two
from
more
inside
sections
the
coming
Mango
up.
Bay Resort, St.
This
Ambrose
is a little
Primary,
worrying. I'm
Soraya
looking
Harding.
at young Kamaya Lashley grabbing her hamstring, so looks a little
Let's
worrisome
hope
there.
for the best for her.
Yes.
Okay, Anaya Boyce of St. Lucie in 2. Malia Boxell of People's Cathedral in 3. In lane 4 is Shakaya Elliott of St. John's Primary. They're off and running. Here comes Deanna Burrows of St. Christopher in lane 5. In lane 6 is Anita Holder of St. Matthews. And in 7, Soraya Harding of St. Ambrose. So, spinning out the turn again, Burrows of St. Christopher. There she goes. Yes, trying to open a gap here. 50 meters to go. She will be the winner. Easy, easy, easy. Deanna Burrows, St. Christopher Primary, our winner there. 32.82 for Burrows, not as fast as the first section. Hardin 34.60. And third will go to Holder of St. Matthews, 34.76.
So we a lot slower than the previous. Yeah, so if that was 31.64 was for Daniel of Roland Edwards. And here we might see Diamond Kelman coming up. Yes, we do. We have the athletes. I'm sure the stadium announcer is giving them. But we will go lane 2 from Christchurch Girls. You just want to wait until they come into the picture. See the outgoing athletes. We will say whatever. Yes,
Here we go.
Perch from Christchurch Girls, Kelman of Roland Edwards, and also she's the one who's already made up the stagger on them. She is
Diamond Kelman.
easy. Diamond Kelman.
That's a name.
Remember her from her under 9 days on the outside from St. Christopher Primary, Adria Kinch. But it is Diamond Kelman. Her form will take her to the wire, very light and gliding away. She wins it comfortably, 30.45.
Wow. Yes, she looks the part.
Yes.
30.52. 30 me rounded to.
30.52.
Second is Kinch.
Kinch in 32.28.
We are now on to the
And then we can see in third position Perch.
This event is 28.
And we don't have a time for Perches yet, but so that's the third of these 3 time finals, and 30.52 looks like the fastest time, was it? Or yes, 30.52 was the fastest time. Diamond Kelman here of Roland Edwards Primary. So we're moving on now to the under 11 boys, and they will be going here over the 200 meters in lane 2 from, in lane 3 from Ignatius Bayer, Torian Cullimore. Lane 4 from St. Christopher Primary, Shea Gale. Lane 5, DeMarcus Hinkson from St. Lucie Primary. Lane 6, representing Roland Edwards Primary, that's Jaquan Harrison. And out in lane 7 from St. Matthews Primary, that is Raphael Bailey. And they're off and running. It's a good, clean start. We can see from St. Lucie Primary, DeMarcus Hinkson. He's made up the stagger, but on his inside, Shea Gale of St. Christopher Primary coming down the lane. Shea Gale, a very spirited performance. Young Gale pulling away, will win this one easily. Shea Gale of St. Christopher Primary, as he wins this one. As I said, it's the first of these 3-time finals. Gale went in there. We're not getting the times, but Shea Gale was victorious there in that first of these 3-time finals. And I am joined here by a beautiful young lady, young Janelle Denny, the chairperson this year. Janelle, good afternoon, and how are you doing?
Good afternoon, Luke. Good afternoon to all of our viewers.
Yes. And Janelle, you here the chair this off this year. And how is the competition going so far for you?
I think everything has been going pretty well. I, along with the other members of the executive, are very impressed with the performances thus far. Kudos to the PE teachers, the coaches of the various track clubs and so on for putting in the work and getting our athletes ready for competition. Meet has been running to time for the most part, where we've had to push and make up. We've done that. Like today, schools were a little late today, but we've tried to accommodate. But we're back on track, so everything is going pretty good so far.
Kudos to the organizers. Fantastic job. As you said, where time has to be made up, they have done it very well, and very competent team you have put together here this year. We have here going in this is the second of the time finals. That's again, we can see our officials are just getting the athletes in their correct lane assignments. Janelle, this is the 24th year, and I mean we've seen some development over the years, and I would say that this is in how you ranking, in the way you're ranking this one. How do you feel about this one so far?
Well, I could say very easily we are feeling very confident that coming out of post-COVID, this is probably the best year since then. Our children we tried to kind of ease them back into competition after COVID, but they are firing on all cylinders now, to be quite honest. And like I said, it's really a joy to see, because the executive, we are already planning for our 25th, because that is a milestone year, as you can appreciate.
Yes, definitely. And you can see that I know you put in a lot of work with this one as they go for the second of these 3-time finals. Scanterbury, Gooding, Yard, Mosley, Beckles, and Bryce, as they race towards the corner, and on the outside from St. Giles Primary, John Claude Bryce. But stiff competition coming through from on the inside. Shaquem Scanterbury of St. Stephen's Primary. They thunder down the lane on the outside. Jean-Claude Bryce of St. Giles Primary. He looks as though he will hold on for the victory. He wins it now. Second from St. Christopher Primary, Aidan Yard Mosley. And that's a flash time of 31.66 seconds. And they're chasing that time of 28.21 seconds set by Zachary Wall, then of St. George Primary back in 28.21. Do you remember that name, Zachary Wall?
Of course, I remember Zachary. Of course.
Yes.
Now on to Harson's College.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
The athlete, he's developed nicely.
Yes. And we're now going to go on to the final installment here in the under 11 division, and we have representing People's Cathedral as we just await you can hear the stadium announcer getting the names across the plane, as you can just see here. Yes, as Keon Morris of People's Cathedral. You can see there Mr. Harcourt racing. In lane 2, Keon Morris, People's Cathedral. Lane 3 from St. Giles Primary, that's Matthew Lovell. In lane 4, Caden McTaggart of St. Matthews. In lane 5, Sir Dash of St. Stephen's, and Sir Dash is already gone, dashing away from them. In lane 6, Timothy St. Pierre of St. Ambrose Primary. But they're coming down the lane, and there's a very close battle between Matthew Lovell and Sir Dash. Sir Dash and Lovell, Dash and Lovell. Here's the wire dash. Sir Dash of St. Stephen's Primary getting home. 31.78 seconds. He was victorious there, 31.78.
Ding dong battle to the end.
Very, very tight. And Matthew Lovell, 31.97 for Lovell. So, yes, here we have the you can see the athletes they are going over now. For the 150 meters. Those are the under nines. And remember, for our viewers, some of our viewers wouldn't know. Well, as you're now coming in, the under 13s they do 200s as well as the under 11s, and then the under 9s they do 150 meters, and that's it for that. They're coming off the bend, if you want to call it. Janelle, so tell us, what have you been up to in recent times? We've not been seeing you a lot, but I'm always very thankful when I see you. What have you been up to?
I've been making sure that everything is in place for the meet director and the various officials to be able to execute the meet. There's a lot that goes into planning and executing a meet of this level, and just first of all, kudos to our sponsors. Always have to give thanks and gratitude for the role that they play, because without them, we're not able to put on the meat that you see here.
Chef Foods.
Yes, Chef Food is the title sponsor, and then we have our various zonal sponsors, today being the Holiday Bermudas brand from Obisco, and big thanks, big shout out to DHL. They aren't a sponsor, but they were able to allow for us to expedite our clock that we have at the finish line this week, because last week we weren't able to have the clock, and it stopped working just before the championships were supposed to begin, so we had to rush to get one bought, get it shipped here, and then on Friday we were getting it expedited by DHL so that Mr. Topping could test it over the weekend and then have it here today. So again, management and staff at DHL, I've officially given you NAPSACbb status family. So thank you so much for being able to assist us.
Thank you very much to DHL, and thank you very much. You see, as you said, a lot goes on in the background. Yes,
a lot goes on, because I left work, went straight there to meet Mr. Topping. So can we play tag team here? But it's a case where we know what we want to be able to give to our children, and they're used to seeing that clock. So, we wanted to make sure we were able to bring it back for them this week.
Thank you very much there to DHL, the management and staff. We're going here now for the first of 3 time finals in the under 9 girls. They're chasing the time of 23.01 seconds set by Alexis Maskell, then of the Hinesberry team. Yes, in 2017. So we have here chasing that record in lane 2, Emily King Bayer of St. Christopher Primary. In lane 3 from Roland Edwards, this is Trey Naya Bino Simpson of Roland Edwards. From St. Luke's Academy is in lane 4, that's Eden Watson. In lane 5, going for St. Matthews, this is Oriah Wharton. And out in lane 6, that is Melrika Pearson of St. Lucy Primaries. They spin off the bend, and it's a very tight race thus far. Looks like Trenaya Bino Simpson of Roland Edwards. She's running here. She should hold on. Slow right down here. She did enough to get home. Second was from St. Luke's Academy. That's Eden Watson. 26.84 is the flash time. 27.33 for Watson. So there, that was the first of these 3-time finals. And the under 9 girls. Coming up shortly will be the turn of there's a second of these time finals, where we can see these athletes chasing that time of 26.84. Here we go. Riley Harewood from St. Luke's Academy. There. In lane 2, Samira Jones of St. Lucy Primary. In lane 3, Niger Coppin of People's Cathedral. In lane 4, representing St. Giles Primary, that is Acadia Hackett. Lane 5 from Christchurch Girls, Livia Ford. In lane 6, that is Kiani Brooms of Roland Edwards. And out in lane 7, Aisha Rain Waterman of St. Stephen's Primary. Yes. So Janelle, I know there's a school. There must be a school that you usually back here in this zone at the fall start there. And we can see Christchurch Girls. They have amassed thus far. They're way ahead. Do you usually back Christchurch Girls? Janelle?
I back all the schools.
Oh.
Every single one.
Every single one. I know there's one that must be touching your heart, but I'll leave that there alone.
They aren't here today.
They aren't here today, but I know I know this is when you are. Yes, and they're off and running here. Will they be called back? No. And it's a good start. And young lady here, Livia Ford. Very powerful, very determined. She will dismantle this field. And she should win it, wins it now. And I mean, very interesting enough, you see, even though she was going, she said, I'm running against the clock. 24:56, what a time. 24.59 seconds. 27:31 for Waterman. And young Hackett, Acadia Hackett, a time of 28.75 seconds. We can take a look at the replay. And Livia Ford of the Christchurch Girls team, she meant business there just now. What a run as the posse from the Christchurch Girls team there jumping jubilation. And now we move into the final installment here, from Christchurch Girls. That is Kazaria Lashley in lane 1. Lane 2 from St. Ambrose Primary, Romera Lawrence. Azaria Burrows goes in lane 3 for St. Stephen's Primary. Lane 4, Nyla Sargent of Christchurch of the St. Christopher Primary team. She's in lane 4. Then it's Acadia Grosvenor of St. Giles Primary. She's in lane 5. In lane 6, representing People's Cathedral, that's Kamaya Seeley. And Inika Phillips of St. Matthews, she's out in lane 7 and thundering off the bend. In lane 2, Ramaria Lawrence of St. Ambrose Primary. She means business here. Yes, the form, she may be just feeling the effects there, but she's going to win it. She wins it now. And should be a very good time, 25:64.
She gave a good account of herself.
Yep, it's Lashley.
Definitely.
Yeah, and you know, that was a good run there. Janelle, tell me, were you an athlete at school? Everyone who sits here must tell us a bit about their performances. We're at primary school. How were you there?
Well, I was very active. That's all I can say.
So you didn't run at the primary level, you know?
I ran at the primary level, but you have to remember there was no NAPSACbb. That was when we had the parish sports. I think Faton was in the St. Michael North. So I was in there spectating really well. Yeah, I was spectating really well.
Johnny Foster, in lane number 5
It was a
from
case
St.
when I went
Matthew's
on to St.
Primary.
Michael's. I did various
Jamani
sports here.
Barker.
St. Michael's? That's the St. Michael's school. I know. I that's why I know that you're very, very, when it comes to your alma mater, you go with the St. Michael's school. So so that's where you did your running, and we're on to the boys. In the under 9 area, we have the first of 3-time finals. Husbands, Edwards, Foster, Barker Bradshaw, and Hunt Eiffel. They spin off the bend, and it is Lamar Husbands of Roland Edwards. Here on the outside from St. Giles Primary, Johnny Foster. And even further on the outside is Jamani Barker Bradshaw. But Lamar Husbands of the Roland Edwards team, 24.38 seconds. He got home. 24:41 is the rounded time. 24:64 goes to on the outside for St. Matthew's Primary. That is Jamani Barker Bradshaw. 24:65. But there was no stopping Lamar Husbands of the Roland Edwards team. 24.41 seconds. They're chasing that time of 22.90 seconds set in 2012. Look at the name, Malachi Harris. You remember Malachi Harris, you know, of the Deacons Primary back then? Oh, very strong young man. Very strong. And he was towering over the youngsters back in 2012. There, we now move on to the second of these 3-time finals.
We have a recall.
And there we can see here on the.
Michael is saying he was a little mature.
Mature.
Much more mature than the other boys.
We will, yes, he was way much more mature than the other young boys in his time. Here we can see in lane 1 from St. Lucie Primary, Nazari Brathwaite. Lane 2, Byron Wright of St. Ambrose Primary in lane 2. Lane 3, Riley King of People's Cathedral. Lane 4, Keon Carter of St. Matthews. Lane 5, Kyrie Babb of St. Stephen's. We saw him winning the 100 a little earlier.
Bob is gone.
Yeah, Bob is flying. Yeah, he's coming off the bend to Kyrie Francis of St. Luke's Academy is there. And on the outside, that is Zakari Wilkinson of St. Christopher Primary. But there's no stopping Kyrie Babb. Bob, all arms and leg pumping away. Good form. Gets home now. Kyrie Babb at St. Stephen's Primary. 23. Oh, 23.89. That puts him up top. Yeah, Wilkinson, 26.69. Way different in time there.
And you know, by the end of the day, the different PE teachers will be looking at all of the different zones to see the compare the times.
Yeah, definitely.
To see where they're in the running in terms of the advancement.
Rico Ambrose.
You can see this here. I'm gonna throw you on the bus here, Janelle. You will announce the. So great, and yes, we have, you know, you can give us the starters for race the third installment. Love to hear your voice.
In lane 1 is Basil Bonduli of St. Luke's Academy. In lane 2, Noriko Ambrose of St. Giles. In lane 3, Saki Seeley of St. Christopher. In lane 4, Kai McCollin of Roland Edwards. In lane 5, Shakadan Bovell of Ignatius Bayer. 6, Rico Jordan of St. Stephen's. And in 7, for Sean Samuels of St. Albert.
Oh, yes. As they spin off the bend and.
Looking like Seeley and McCollin.
From Roland Edwards. Yes, McCollin. He's digging deep. Yeah. Should get home. That is McCollin of Roland Edwards Primary, 23.57 seconds. So, if that time stands, I think he should be, 23.60. The final time, 24.48 for Seeley. And unofficially, that's the flash time. And Ambrose, Noriko Ambrose of St. Giles, 26.54. So that should be the unofficial winner. Then should go to McCollin of Roland Edwards in the time of 23.60 seconds. Second, Bob of the St. Stephen's Primary in 2389. And then we can see 2441. Yes, 2441. Lamar has been
Getting some valuable points.
valuable points. We haven't received any points recently, but I can tell you that St. Christopher, Christchurch girls, they're way ahead. They are way ahead, and I don't think anyone's going to get close to them at all today. They would have to start from last week if they wanted to compete with them today.
I think the last set of boys' points, I think they had a tie.
So
I think our sisters
they
are working.
always on time, always on time. And Janelle, I'm gonna let you do the girls, and I'll bring it up for the boys and the girls.
In 11th position is currently St. Luke's Academy with 4 points. In 10th, Ignatius Bayer on 6. In 9th is St. Matthew's Primary on 7 points. Tied for 7th are St. Lucy Primary and the People's Cathedral with 27 points. In 6th position, St. Ambrose on 52. In 5th position, St. Giles Primary on 82 points. In 4th position is St. Christopher Primary on 92 points. And the top 3 for the girls. In 3rd position, Roland Edwards with 102 points. In 2nd position, St. Stephen's Primary with 115 points. And as you alluded to earlier, in 1st place are the Sandals Resorts Christchurch girls on 227 points.
Oh yes, so it's a foregone conclusion then that the Christchurch girls, the Sandals Resort Christchurch girls will.
This is probably up to maybe the 200s.
Yes, so 227.
They'll have to score those 150s. I think Christchurch girls
did pretty well in there as well. So, and then in the boys, in 10th position, St. Luke's Academy on 4, sharing the 8th position on 14 points are the People's Cathedral Primary and Ignatius Primary. In 7th, St. Lucy Primary on 36.5 points. In 6th, St. Matthew's Primary on 42.5 points. In 5th, St. Ambrose on 58 points. On 66 points, Roland Edwards Primary there in 4th. And the top 3 with 150 points, St. Christopher Primary. In 2nd position, St. Stephen's Primary with 169 points, just 19 points of drift. And leading the boys with 187 points, the St. Giles Primary School, that's the COB St. Giles Primary Conquerors. So there, I'm sure Michael Jules is he's elated to hear that news thus far as we move into the relays. Yes, thus far, Michael Jules.
These relays are going to be very
Oh yes, ding dong. So we have it's what? 37 points from top from the separate the first 3. Yes. So we're going to see then how it comes down. We're now moving into the 800 sprint medley. And the legs 1 by 1, 2 by 4 is an open event. Here we see in lane 2, Roland Edwards Primary. Lane 3, the Christchurch girls. Lane 4, Ignatius Bayer Primary. Lane 5, St. Giles. Lane 6, People's Cathedral. And we have out in lane. Not seeing. We can see the athlete there, but we're not seeing it here in our form. But that looks like the team from St. Lucy's or People's Cathedral. People's Cathedral out in lane 7. So you just have to have it upgraded. But we want to thank Janelle Denny, our chairperson for the 2026 edition here of NAPSACK Chef Foods NAPSACK. And I always like to, thank Janelle for her expertise as she comes on the air. We can let you go when this event is finished. When this, I like to hear your voice, Janelle. I always love to hear your voice. Very calming. So I'm gonna let you. If you wanna come and call this one then. She's smiling as she always says. I'm sure that, yes. Maybe. Who would you predict in this race? If you want to give a prediction for this one.
Based on what we've been seeing, Christchurch girls is looking pretty strong. It really is, you never know.
You never know.
Gotta get the stick around.
Yes.
They would have some time to, make up for if any mistakes are made, seeing that there's a 400 leg in this race. But at the end of the day, let's see how it unfolds. They go in as the favorites based on what they have been doing so far for the day. So let's just see if they're able to execute, because that's what it is all about now.
Yes.
Execution. And when the big day comes in terms of the semi-finals, because that's the final before the final, right, Michael? Right, so it's a case where that day is going to be very tight in terms of the execution, and based on what we're seeing so far over these 4 days, I am so excited to see the semis.
I'm same here. Actually, I'm going to let when Michael comes, I guess you can, if you are not busy, we're gonna let him come here with us. I think this is a young lady here. This one, she was victorious in the 100 meters. So
They should get a good start.
should get a good start.
Ready to go off the running.
Already made at the start.
And we see Christchurch girls off on a flyer.
The second.
As they
Yes.
come to the first takeover. Christchurch girls. Rolling
Beautiful takeover. Christchurch girls, a commanding lead thus far. This is what we want to say is all over by the shouting at this stage. This is a nice, very good run there by the team at the high jump young lady. Bourne, she's in. She broke the record in the high jump, jumping 1.35 meters, and here she is. Yes. She is very strong, a very good 200-meter leg. And is this Dominique Thompson who's going to anchor them? I think this is Dominique Thompson who's going to anchor the team from the Sandals Resort Christchurch. Girls, know they're jumping for joy up there. And she is very strong. Oh gosh, she has about 40. Smooth as silk, yes, about 40 meters. She has a 40-meter lead on them. Running into very close between Roland Edwards and the team from the St. Giles team there. But it is going to be the Christchurch girls. They're jumping for joy in the stands with just 100 meters to go. And it is Christchurch girls. They're chasing that time of 2:04.12 seconds. They might not get that time, but it will be a respectable time. We'll get home. Yes, Christchurch girls wins this one. Let's see, totally out of the picture, out of the frame, I should say. The second team coming in will be St. Giles. That looks like Delicia Abraham and Roland Edwards. That's it for the girls in the 800 meters. I'm going to Estelle?
You're switching out on me, Spuddy.
One more team
Going to
coming
be
home.
joined by Michael now. Welcome back, Michael.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so we just saw a very exciting 4x4. Sorry. I wish it was a 4x4. One of these days we should have a 4x4 for the schools. Where are we at now? Our second section.
Section on the line.
Okay. Great. So Janelle, I don't know if you were asked a question, but how generally how has NAPSAC been in terms of the administration and everything else associated with the event?
In lane number 5, St. Christopher
Spotty did
Primary.
ask that earlier, and I can say we are pretty pleased thus far in terms
In
of
lane
how everything
number
has
6,
been
St. Lucie
executed.
Primary.
Where we've had to make some adjustments, we've had to, and we've done that. The meet director, he's been in constant communication and debriefings with the officials so that we can tighten up on any areas that we need to. As it relates to the executive, we are still ensuring that we are communicating with our various sponsors and so on. So in order to be able to execute the meet that we are usually in terms of the standard that we usually are accustomed to.
Yes. From what I have seen, kudos to the officials for ensuring that we were out of here at 3 o'clock. It was pretty much like a school day, except that we started a little later than the regular school day. But before 3, we were out.
Yeah, very much so. In terms of the scheduling, we've been running to time basically. Like I said to Spotty, where we've had to, because like today was a day that a lot of schools came late.
Yes.
So we tried to work with that, but now we've caught it with the schedule, and everything has been going like clockwork.
Great. So we're on to our second section in the girls' open medley relay. This is a 1x1 by 2x4. St. Matthews, St. Stephen's, St. Christopher, and St. Lucie. And of course, good handovers will result in the baton being passed quickly, and then it's up to the athletes to run quickly. So St. Stephen's Primary, they're doing really good here, chasing 2:11.11. Another great handover from St. Stephen's. Yes, we saw this young lady in the 200 meters. I think she's on the right leg. We saw her in the 200 meters for St. Stephen's. She's running really well here. So
That's another part of relay running, right? We're settled.
exactly.
Position
Your athletes. 2:11.11. That's the time posted by Christchurch girls. Right now they are 1 minute for the handover. So this young lady will need to run faster than 1 minute and 11 seconds. And if she's a 400-meter runner, yes, I think we had some good times from those quarter milers in the girls section. So we'll see how things will look for her. Yes, she's out the picture. There she goes.
That's easy.
Uh,
We'll see how she.
Yes, this Christiana Rock. Yes, this is Rock. Remember Rock, though she had the 400, she had the 600, she had the 400. She'll need to pick the pace up a bit here now. 1:42 on the clock. Always, you tell athletes all the time, regardless of what happens, finish strong. 1:53 now on the clock. Not sure she's aware that she has to run a fast time. Maybe she's just running to finish.
As the clock there.
Agreed.
Right ahead.
2:05, 2:06. Yeah, she's finishing very slow. Don't think she'll beat that 2:11. Not at all. Not at that rate. But it was a good opportunity for St. Stephen's. 2:16.07 for St. Stephen's Primary. So they'll finish up second overall.
And Christchurch still takes the
Well, I mean, I wasn't there when you guys were discussing, but I think I told Neil a lot earlier that Christchurch girls will demolish that medley relay. And it will be interesting to see when they butt upon the team from Williams Industries West Terrace. Huh?
Well, that's why everyone has to stay tuned March 6th
Oh,
for the
yes.
semifinals.
Semifinals, yep.
Because it's going to be constant action on that day.
And the thing is, it is possible that the top teams could come up against each other in the semis.
Yes.
Right? One will be first, one will be second, and both teams will go on through to the final. And then it's all about if my team beat your team in the semis, you know what's going to happen.
They're going with the psychological edge. That's basically it. Because at the end of the day, in the final, you still have to execute.
What happens on the day, correct.
What happens on the day.
So the boys are coming up next. We see a young man there putting his mark down. We hardly see this when it comes to primary school track and field. So that tells me that this team has been putting in some work behind the scenes. Yep. And you know, I saw a video of Wesley Hall team. You remember when Wesley Hall won? Yes. I saw a video that they put out. They put out the video this year.
Yes, a throwback to
telling you what happened in their preparation.
The beach training.
All of that. Did you see that?
The days at the old National Stadium.
You saw that?
Yes.
Oh man, that was
NAPSACbb. It's on
that
our
was
IG page.
okay. That's probably where you saw it
That's
then.
where you saw it.
Yeah, but I saw it somewhere and I was like, this is great. And this is the kind of work that
is required.
Yes, I mean, you can tell the teams that were putting in the work. You know, you look at the athletes, you look at those who are running focus, looking the part. But we'll get back to that in a minute. St. Ambrose in 2, Ignatius Bayer in 3, St. Giles in 4, and Roland Edwards in 5. This is the first of 2 time finals for the boys. This is the medley. They're chasing 155.78. That time was set by the St. George Lions. I think you know who was on that team back in 2020. That was a bomb squad team. 155.78. Ethan Hart. Wow. So here comes St. Giles with the lead now, getting ready for the 200-meter leg. A little problem there, but he has the baton and he's going. St. Giles, Roland Edwards giving chase. So 40 seconds on the clock now. 155. So the thing is, if these teams can hand the baton over just under a minute, then and that 400-meter leg is a strong leg, they're in good grazings. But we're now at 57, 58, 59, 101. So this is going to be a little tough. This young man, he's been performing pretty good. The anchor leg here for St. John's. I think he is his name is Corbin.
He has the hairstyle like the Augustine boy.
Oh yes. Wow, those Augustines are going to be something to be reckoned with as well. Yes. So heading down the back stretch, still St. Giles giving chase here now. We can see Roland Edwards as well as St. Ambrose there in the picture.
It looks like he's going to possibly have a challenge, but let's see how he responds.
Not giving up as yet. Passing the water jump. And he has decided, yes, oh my, this guy, I'm hearing some footsteps. Let me step on the gas here. So here he goes for St. Giles. That's Clinton, Arico Clinton. That's the lad, Clinton. Yes, he did a lot of running today. 207, 208. So Clinton is going to win it. 212.90. The flash time for 212.92 for St. Giles. Now Janelle, the girls team from Christchurch,
yes,
ran a 2:11. Yes. Wow. So one more section coming up for the boys medley. I see Mr. Welch, who is one of our technical workers behind the scenes with a lovely looking beverage in his hand.
Boys 800 meters sprint medley race.
He's looking over at you now, Jules.
Next section here on the line now, this one. So these guys have something to run for, 2:12.92. And St. Stephen's, they have a good team. Josiah Brown, yes, I believe they'll put him to run the ankle leg. He had a good meet so far as well. People's Cathedral, they're in lane 3. St. Stephen's will be running out of 2. St. Lucie Primary are in 4. St. Matthew's are in 5. And St. Christopher is in 6. St. Christopher had some spots of delight.
Yeah,
they had some good runners.
Zonal champions for the boys division, but they're getting some stiff competition
yes.
here, so we'll have to see.
St. Giles. St. Giles has been
to put in some work.
Yes. And that's the thing. If you want to defend the title, you have to put in probably a bit more work than the fellow who has nothing to lose, and But we'll see what will happen here in this leg, in this final. 2:12.92, the time posted by the St. Giles team.
Other starters' orders.
So they're gone. St. Stephen's, People's Cathedral, St. Lucie, St. Matthew's, and St. Christopher. Let's watch the first handover.
Clean hand over there.
A little spot of bother for the People's Cathedral. They have to do a lot of running to get back into the picture. On the outside, though, is St. Christopher Primary. Good handover from them. This lad from St. Stephen's, he just runs quite cool, but he's making up the ground.
Yes.
Let's watch him now.
He's very tall, running very tall.
Yes,
nice
good strides, beautiful strides, this lad. Here he comes now, trying to accelerate. On the outside is St. Christopher. As I say, the battle is going to be between these two. Seems like he has some pain. He has to hold on and get the baton to Brown.
Just get the baton.
Get the baton to Brown. Okay, and he does. So we'll see what Brown can do. The other lads there. St. Lucie Primary now getting the baton. In the meantime, wow.
Let's see if he's able to keep that up.
Yes, Brown will have a lot of work to do here as well. He has about, 40 meters to catch him. Yes, the way he's running.
That's his strategy. It's like, come and get me. So
the way Brown is running, I don't think he'll catch. Yeah, he won't catch him.
We'll see.
This guy has opened the gap.
We'll see.
Just about 150 to go.
Because his farm is breaking down right now. So let's see if he's able to hold on.
So into the straightaway now. Yes. I think they will remain this way. I don't see anyone looking to accelerate at all. And even if he tries to at the end. So it's 2:05. And all these three finishers pretty much jogged to the finish. 2:10.76. So that's the time. That will give St. Christopher the win. 2:10.76.
It's valuable relay points. It's not over till it's over.
Let's see the second place. Okay, St. Stephen's 2:16.06. That will not mean anything to St. Giles. So points are double, right? So St. Christopher will earn 20 points. However, St. Giles will get 16 points. Doesn't matter at this point. 3 more relays in hand. So once St. Giles can hold on, get some points, be in the top 3 in the next 3 relays, it's safe to say that St. Giles COB Conquerors will be the new James Wedderburn Zone champions for the boys. Yep. And we got to give a little credit to this youngster here because he had a hard meet. He ran the 800. He went from the 8 to the 4. I think, did he run the 2 as well? Brown? Okay. But that combination, though, can take a toll on you.
Of
That
course it can.
600, 400, 800, 400. And sometimes we see some even going down to run the 2 as well.
Right. The
They're very-
athletes that are able to do that combination either on the girls or the boys side in terms of the 6 and the 4 or the 8 and the 4, they're special.
Oh, yes, they are.
And
Yes, they
they
are.
have to be built different. Like over the years, Breedy from Ellerton,
Yes.
Rivaldo Leacock from St. Stephen's. Those
Yes.
are athletes, you know. Even Ashlyn, I think.
Yes, Ashlyn
did
Simmons did it.
6 and 4. You know, so
It's rough. It is
so you've got to
rough.
pick and choose the events according to the schedule and manage
Yes.
the meters and the mileage.
Correct.
The athletes, especially if you know that you want to bring them back for a relay.
Correct. Because then some of them end up running 2 relays. Yes. So here we have the under 9 girls on the line. This is the 4x1s we're getting ready for. 2 sections for the under 9 girls. 106.17 is the record established by Hilda Skeen back in 2019. Yes. St. Stephen's Primary, they're in lane 2. In 3 is Roland Edwards. 4 is Christchurch Girls. 5 is St. Lucie. And 6 is the People's Cathedral.
His body just gave me a look, but that's when Hilda Scheme was in this zone.
Of course.
They are now in the Frida Nichols, the Wabisco Frida Nichols zone. And I know that Spotty is excited to see them. Shout out to Mr. Batson and Mr. Griffith.
Oh yes, we all have our favorite schools apart from our alma mater. Why shouldn't you be
true.
proud of your
Oh,
alma
but
mater?
my alma mater is in that same zone, Lufatorin.
There you go.
I usually
Here are your name
joke with
assignments for
the
under
meet
9
director,
girls.
Mr.
4x100
Pierre, that it's the zone of death.
Number 2.
I remember a zone being called that back in the day.
Zone of death. But
Number 4.
The zone of death.
but I think all of these zones now really are
Number 6.
extremely competitive.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, so
And the last year was very pleased to see that Good Shepherd could end up
Oh, yes.
in the position they ended up in. People
never know
talk
what's
about
gonna happen
a
this
small
year.
school, etc. But I think when you work with what you have and you put in the work, you can get some decent results. And we've seen that. You remember the year when Bailey's took a small contingent
yes,
to
Jaria Hall.
yes,
There were 4 of them.
and they were able
Years
to
ago at the
yes.
stadium. Yeah.
Okay, so we're ready to go. St. Stephen's, Roland Edwards, Christchurch Girls, St. Lucie, and People's Cathedral. Christchurch
athletes
Girls,
starting.
oh my, they've already made it the stagger. A pretty decent handover as well. Let's see how our second leg will fare. The others are running. That was a replay there of that leg.
Let's see as they hand over now for the second time in this under 9.
Second legs. Here are the third legs now. Still leading is Christchurch Girls. Giving chase is St. Stephen's in lane 2. There goes Roland Edwards in 3. And People's Cathedral. Getting ready for the last handover. Christchurch Girls. They're doing it. Oh, yes. Here we go. All Christchurch Girls. St. Stephen's. They are flying. Trying to catch the girls from
But they won't.
the Sandals Green Machines. Yes, the Green Machines. They got home in first. St. Stephen's in second.
The thing about this is that Christchurch has a very rich history.
Of course
They were
they
the
do.
very first overall girls champions.
Yes,
NAPSACbb
I
history.
believe they did too. 105.58. The time for Christchurch Girls. St. Stephen's 110.64. And third. Okay, so those are top 2. 105.58 for Christchurch Girls. 110.64 for St. Stephen's. Let's see how this other section will do. Now, Janelle, remember I said to you earlier that the record for this event is 106.17, and that was established by Hilda Skeen in 2019. I just gave you a time. I didn't see you flare up and I got excited, but let me make you exciting now. Christchurch girls just posted a time of 105.58.
Unofficially.
Yes. So,
ratified.
well, we are watching. Trust me, all of these times, I trust the officials and everyone.
I trust them too.
So here we go.
The process as well.
Oh yes, here we go.
And you know what may have done it? That handover.
Oh my, those handovers were lovely, though. I must say they were all lovely handovers.
Yes.
So, I think we just witnessed a record-breaking performance, but we cannot call it a record as yet until we have another section to go. Maybe those guys will run faster than 105.58.
That is possible.
But the thing is, once ratified, that is the record for the next couple of seconds till after the next race. Yes, but wonderful performance from the team from Christchurch girls, and we must give kudos to all those who are associated with the Christchurch girls team. They've done very well. We've seen that they've put in the work, not only on the track, but also in the field events. Yes, they've really put in the effort here. So coming up will be our second section. Ignatius Bayer, they'll be, okay, let's wait until the teams appear. And they had some good support in the stands as well.
Yes, they always do. They always come with a full contingent of spectators.
Now I have you here in a different capacity. Let me ask you the question. What is the plan for the semifinals in terms of spectatorship from the schools?
Well, we usually allow it to be a first come, first serve because of the fact.
Okay, get back to that in a second. Ignatius Bayer, St. Ambrose, St. Giles, St. Matthews, and St. Christopher. St. Giles handing over first. There they go, heading down the back stretch. And St. Christopher Primary in the blue out there on the outside doing some good running as well. 26 seconds on the clock. They're chasing 105.58. The time posted from the first section. And St. Giles still battling St. Christopher. The stagger hasn't changed much. Now it's going to change. Remember, St. Giles is on the inside. There we go. St. Giles and St. Christopher coming into the straightaway now. These two are battling. 60 seconds on the clock. They won't break that 105.58 for sure. But St. Giles is looking to get some points for that first place. 110.02. That's the flash time. And if that holds, 110.03, that will put them in third overall. Their time was better than St. Stephen's, who posted a 110.64. So 110.03 for St. Giles Primary, yes, will place them second. St. Stephen's will finish third overall. Great. So I guess once we get that result ratified, we'll know that Christchurch girls will be the new record holders in the under 9 girls 4x100 meter relay. Here's a replay of that relay. Some pretty decent handovers, I would say. Yeah, pretty decent handovers. Can't complain at all. Great. And final handover completed, and the young ladies keeping their eyes on the prize, the finish line. St. Giles getting home first. So that will do it for the under 9 girls 4x1. I'm seeing more points coming our way before the boys, 4-1. So 11 schools scoring in the girls section. Janelle, Ignatius Burr scoring 6. St. Luke's and St. Matthew 7 each. And 27 points going to St. Lucie. People's Cathedral 29. St. Ambrose 60. St. Giles 82. St. Christopher 92. Roland Edwards 107. St. Stephen's 120. And 123 points separating St. Stephen's from Christchurch girls. Tell us about the boys.
In 10th position is St. Luke's Academy with 4 points. Tied for 8th is Ignatius Bayer and the People's Cathedral on 14 points. In 7th, St. Lucie with 38.5 points. In 6th position is St. Matthew's with 50.5 points. In 5th position is St. Ambrose with 61 points. In 4th, Roland Edwards on 83 points, and the top 3. Defending zonal champions, St. Christopher Primary on 162 points. In second place is St. Stephen's Primary with 182 points. And in first place is St. Giles Primary with 210 points.
Lovely. And while all those points are being called, the action is on the track. Under 9 boys moving along, the first of 2-time finals. St. Stephen's Primary, they're in lane 5. They are the leaders by far. Here comes St. Christopher in lane 2. So St. Stephen's and St. Christopher battling. St. Christopher, that leg, wonderful leg. Third leg bringing them back into the picture. So it's St. Christopher and St. Stephen's out the turn into the straightaway. There comes St. Stephen's. Don't glance to your left. Look straight ahead. St. Stephen's Primary going all the way. They will get home in first. St. Christopher finishing up in second. Under 9 boys, 4-1. And we'll get the time 1:06.68. The winning time for St. Stephen's, St. Christopher 1:07.19. And third going to St. Matthew's 1:12.91. So that's the time to beat. These guys are chasing 1:03.99. Bay Primary set that record back in 2019. 1:03.99. Here's a replay, and let's watch the handovers. Okay. Just had a little problem with St. Matthew's handover. All the others weren't too bad. Right. Getting ready for our second section. So things are looking good here as we begin to wind down what has been a really exciting day of competition. Janelle, we have 4 more days to go.
I expect them to be just as
Oh, yes.
as the 4 that we've seen already.
Oh, yes. We've seen some good performances. I was telling Neil earlier.
Tagline this year, NAPSACbb nice.
Of course, it's nice. Next year you can say NAPSACbb very nice. And I always say this. I recall when I was part of the organizing committee then when we approached CBC about carrying NAPSACbb live. And the guy who was in charge of CBC at that time was a guy from Germany. And he said, I would do it because I just love to see how these little kids perform. And he was so excited about the prospect of it being carried live. And he did not hesitate at all to, I don't remember his name, but that was, 20-something years ago. Can't believe.
Competition can be seen on CBC TV.
Wow.
So
that is
you
great.
can tune in. So you have options, either our stream or CBC TV.
Excellent. Okay, so under 9 boys, second section, getting ready to go. Roland Edwards, they're in 2. I like their outfit, by the way. Roland Edwards, they have a nice kit.
A lot of them have really lean and looking really
love
clean.
the kit. People's Cathedral, they're in 3. In 4 is Ignatius Bayer. In 5, St. Giles. And that's the extent of the teams.
I think they unveiled that kit last year And I think another school that really looks nice in their new kit was St. Gabriel's.
Oh, yes,
Really
yes,
nice
yes,
kit
yes,
there.
yes.
And that's what happens when people support,
Yep.
companies support the schools.
And we've been
Yes,
talking
Paris had
about that for a
new
while. They
uniform
even
this
have a
year.
new kit, yes. So, Roland Edwards, People's Cathedral, Ignatius Bar, St. Giles, going in this second section. Under 9 boys, 4x1, looking to go better than
Roland Edwards is out and gone.
106.68. Wow.
Baton.
This guy has been running good as well. We got to watch the lanes here. He should be in
Yeah,
2.
he's gonna go
Well, he remains in his lane. That's good. I was able to catch back. Wow. St. Giles. Wow. Yes, St. Giles is gone with this one. So it's all St. Giles. Final handover. Wow.
He's going to serve them well if they're able to get
Yes. Of course, all of the zone winners will automatically advance to the semis. So St. Giles wants to be in there. And I think, well, we'll see, 106. All right, 107.52. That's the flash time for St. Giles. 107.56. That will not be better than St. Stephen's. So St. Stephen's has earned an automatic spot. Roland Edwards, 109.09. Okay, so St. Stephen's will be the first overall. St. Christopher, they will finish second overall. And St. Giles will finish third overall. And if we look at those times, not bad at all. I think those 3 teams, all things being equal, should be able to make it to the semifinals.
We'll see, because with the 4 zones left, again, the advancement procedures as it relates to getting through to the semifinals is going to be really tight with the type of competition that we
Of
see.
course.
And you were asking earlier about the allocation for tickets. It's going to be a first come, first serve basis, just like how we do for the finals.
Okay.
And like I said, the semis is going to be the final before the finals. So, I mean, I would make sure if you want to see some serious action, because you have to book your spot. These schools are going to have to run
Yes.
semi-final day. You're not going to make the final by just coasting. Everybody's
Yes, things will change there.
because we have seen some stiff competition in these zones thus far, and like I said, I expect to see that for the remaining 4 days. So good luck to all the teams. I look forward to seeing them battle it out on the track.
Okay.
and the field.
Great. So, Janelle, thank you very much. Chairperson, NAPSAC Organizing Committee for the Chef Foods 2026 edition of NAPSAC.
Thank you, Jules.
Great.
Maybe I'll see you tomorrow. Who knows?
Okay.
All right.
No, you will. Under 11 girls, 4x1 is coming up next. We have 2 sections. The record here, 60.03, set in 2012 by the St. Giles primary team. We have St. Lucie Primary in 2, Roland Edwards in 4, St. Giles in 5, Christchurch Girls in 6. Neil, I think this is going to be a ding-dong battle here in this one.
Yes, definitely. This is we've gone in now to the older girls, and this is a very good takeover there. The team from Christchurch Girls, they're empowering away, but
Look at Roland Edwards.
Yes. This is going to come down to the
Final leg.
final leg.
You know who's running the final leg for Roland Edwards? Probably.
This is the under 11s, and Diamond Kelman will run that leg. So they will have to really push.
St. Giles is flying coming there. That third leg for St. Giles. She's motoring along. Here we go. There's your girl. A wonderful handover. This is oh my goodness. Watch this here.
Diamond Kelman anchoring the team from Roland Edwards Primary, thundering away with this one, and they'll win it Flash time 101.90. No, my that's wow. That's a good time.
101.93.
Very good time. 101.93.
Close to the record.
Very close to the record. Second was the team from Christchurch Girls, 103.19, and 104.47 goes to the St. Giles team. But let's take a look at the replay. At this moment here, the Christchurch Girls, they were ahead. But it was a very good win here by the young lady from Roland Edwards. And the takeovers were not bad. If I could remember thus far, the only team I've not seen, I would probably say without a blemish, was the team for Charles F. Moore. Remember?
Oh, yes, they had some good handovers indeed. Yes, they were.
Yeah.
They were.
Here, the team from Roland Edwards, they're not bad at all. Good clean, good takeovers.
Oh yes, I was impressed with their team. Yes, a great team there. So we have another team coming up here, St. Stephen's. We'll see if they can give a time faster than that 101.93. St. Christopher is in the action as well on the 11 girls. But those little ones there, oh yes, those girls looking good.
Seasoned, and they really calling their names a bit now. Because there's under 11.
Yes.
Diamond would come. She came through the under 9. Yes, and I'm trying to remember if Rainbow
is from
under 9.
Rainbow is under 9 now.
She's under
Yes,
9, right.
yes,
So
she's under 9 now.
Right. So,
And this is her first year under 9.
year under 9. Yes.
So our second section on the line ready to go. St. Stephen's Primary in 2, St. Christopher in 3, People's Cathedral in 4, and St. Matthew's in 5. I see 5 teams there.
And that looks like St. Ambrose.
St. Ambrose, there are in lane 6. Oh, my young lady had a spill there. But she got up and she's going to go. Unfortunate. So let's watch this hand over here. St. Stephen's on the outside is
Christopher.
Yes. That's St. Ambrose there. Yes. St. Stephen's on the inside. They're looking good. 38 seconds on the clock. Here comes St. Christopher in that blue outfit. St. Stephen's got the baton. Now St. Christopher. That's the battle.
Yeah, Deanna
That's
Burrows
the battle.
of St. Christopher.
There comes.
Burrows.
She's coming. Oh my.
Every stride. Will she get her?
Long stride. She's just digging in. Oh my, I think she got her. Wow.
That is a run.
Man.
That is a run.
Woo.
104.52 the flash time.
Woo.
But 104.57. And it looks like St. Christopher.
Yeah, St. Christopher got the win.
Yes,
to 104.58.
St. Stephen's ran in second, so that was a fantastic run there by Deanna Burrows.
Oh yes, she dug in
St.
there.
Christopher team.
And that's the way you finish.
Yes, so she
You
did
don't
it
give
all.
up.
She left it all there for her team.
Well, however, Roland Edwards secured the overall victory with that 101.93. Now, the record is 100.03. So they could challenge. Well, I mean, they're past here now because that's the zone record. Yes, but that was a good run from them. Second overall is Christchurch Girls, 103.19. And then third overall, St. Giles, 104.47. So that will do it.
All of them came from the same heat.
Yes. Watch that finish again.
Oh, wow.
Now watch the dip. Watch the dip.
Nailed her.
Oh, wow.
We
Could not be any closer.
I would love to see the photo finish.
Yeah, yes, that's lovely. So there's only one section for the under 11 boys.
Okay.
Only one section coming up. I think all the girls are eager to have a photo.
Yes. So the full field.
Yes.
1 to 8.
Yes, there is. Yep.
Lane 1, St. Stephen's Primary. Lane 2, St. Matthew's. Lane 3, The team from St. Christopher Primary, lane 4, St. Lucy Primary, lane 5, St. Giles, lane 6, People's Cathedral, lane 7, Ignatius Spire, and out in lane 8, team from Roland Edwards Primary School. This is the under 11 boys, and they're chasing a time of 57.08 seconds, set by the team from St. George, the St. George Lions. That 57.08 set in 2019. That team, oh my goodness, that was a bomb team at that stage. And they're coming here now, the young men from the St. Stephen's Primary, St. Matthew's, St. Christopher, St. Lucy, St. Giles, People's Cathedral, Ignatius Bryan, Roland Edwards, vying for that. But trying to get that time. If they can get any time close to that 57.08, you know it'll be a remarkable performance. As we see here, look at the Sir Dash, St. Stephen's.
Yes.
Primary. He's in there.
He had a good job. He did a good job today.
Yes, he did. They're just waiting. We should be finished again here. Another early afternoon, Michael. It's now 24 minutes to the hour of 3.
Wow.
And,
Wow.
kudos to Janelle and the entire set, the staff, the officials who are going to get them out looking for that 3 o'clock time.
Yes.
Yes, so
We've been consistently
Yes.
there or thereabout.
So that's one of the things we can say, that there's been a marked improvement in the times that we've been finishing, and they're now going down and start under starters orders. And as soon as I said that, they're back. And just settling. Making sure that everybody know what they're doing.
And we should note here, Lavia Ford of Christ.
Do you want a chance to go to the NAPSAC finals? Well, Luca Photography is giving away not 1, but 2 tickets and a free photo shoot to 1 lucky winner. All you have to do is follow NAPSACbb and Luca Photography on Instagram and reshare the post. NAPSAC, nice.
So that's outstanding.
Okay, so they've taken them off the track. So something is amiss.
The under 7 boys standing broad jump. We had Ezekiel Haynes Walcott of St. Ambrose. He was first, 1.23 meters. Javinio Kinch from, I think that's St. Christopher, 1.27. And Armani Boucher of St. Stephen's, the winner, 1.38 meters.
Okay, so something is happening here. It looks like the under 13 girls are going.
Wow.
The under 13 girls. Because and I can pick this up from the lady from Christ Church girls.
So that's Roland Edwards there in 1, Ignatius Bayer in 2, St. Giles. Sorry, Roland Edwards is in 2. There she goes. Ignatius Bayer in lane 3 in the green. St. Giles there in lane 4. Christ Church girls is in 5. That's the powerhouse girl we were talking about running that first leg. St. Stephen's there in lane 6. Right. So 5 going in this one.
Well, she ran really well.
Oh yes, oh yes.
She's Harvey. I'm trying to remember if her surname was Harvey or something like that. But she ran the Nyla Harvey or something like that. I think that was her name. She ran a very strong 100 meters, and I guess we will see how she goes, and through the rounds in the semifinals and so on. For the starters orders.
Off to a great start. So Roland Edwards, Ignatius Bar, St. Giles, Christchurch, and St. Stephen's. So Christchurch girls, Sandals Resort, Christchurch, they are gone. St. Stephen's Primary not letting go, refusing to let that tiger go.
Here's the high jump.
Yes, high jump record holder is running the third leg. This is the second time that she has gone around that curve. Remember, she ran the 200 leg in the medley relay, and she's holding off the challenge from St. Stephen's. Final leg now. Here we go.
Rock.
Oh yes,
Rock
yes.
versus,
But she's versus no one at this stage. This is gonna be an easy victory here for Christchurch girls. Just how fast they will go.
57.45.
Wow. Wow.
57.48.
Okay. Second going to St. Stephen's.
58.92 for St. Stephen's, and 1 minute 33 for the team for
Roland Edwards.
But there was a good clean start, and that was definitely the young lady running.
Oh yes.
Nayad Harvey from Christchurch girls. She set the track alight, and then this young lady Bourne, and then the final exchange, Navia Winfield, and she was against Christiana Rock.
Yes.
Of the St. Stephen's team, but there's no doubt about the winner there from Christchurch, the team from Sandals Resort, Christchurch girls.
There they go.
I'm really happy.
Oh yes. I wonder how many photos Ken Orbino has taken in his career.
Quite a few.
His knapsack career. Wow.
Quite a few.
But I like when he shows you these kids like 10 years later, 15 years later, and it's like now and then.
That is awesome.
So he does have a archive. Yeah, a very deep and intensive archive.
Dossier.
Our next section coming up, St. Lucie Primary, they're in 2. People's Cathedral in 3, St. Christopher in 4, and St. Matthew's in 5. They're chasing 57.48, the time posted by the team from Christchurch girls, and 56.72, the under 13 girls zone record that was set by St. Giles back in 2019.
It would take a lot of running when you had the
2 Appleweights,
girls.
Clark and Douglas.
Wow. I don't even want to say that record should be there for a while, but might be there for a while. The Appleweight girls who were very dominant in their final year, and the under 13s. Knapsack. And it's a good clean start. St. Lucie, People's Cathedral, St. Christopher, and St. Matthew's. And the early exchange, see the young lady from St. Christopher. People's Cathedral also running very well. Good clean takeover there by St. Christopher as they thunder down the back stretch, and it is St. Christopher. Oh, she's large and in charge. She's going on. Another good takeover there. Little fumbling there by the team from People's Cathedral, but it is St. Christopher Primary. She's gone about her business. She's pumping and going, and a very good takeover. And it's the final exchange, and it would take a tremendous run from any of these 3 teams to catch St. Christopher. She's all over. It's all over. Bar the shouting, done and dusted. 1 minute, 0.21 seconds, 0.23 seconds, so not even close to that remarkable time of the Christchurch girls, 57.48. So Christchurch girls in a runaway. As
Oh, yes.
my fellow commentator in the other area, he would say in a romp. Easiest Sunday morning. There's a nice clean takeovers. And all she was thinking about is getting home here. The young lady from St. Christopher Primary easily doing it.
So that's the under 13 girls relay done. We have only 2 left. So I think they will do the under 11 boys followed by the under 13 boys and call that a day. Yes, and then we'll be able to give you the final set of results. The scores rather, the team scores. That's the only thing left.
Yes, so the under 11 boys will be 2 heats.
Yes. So we were wondering what it was. We now know.
Yes. No, you know. So the under 11 boys will go 2. Yes. 2 heats here for the under 11 boys.
That's the winning team from St. Christopher.
Congratulations. They won their heat. They won their
Yes. We should say that.
They won their leg.
Yes, because Christchurch girls posted a 57.48, which will be the overall best time.
Okay, so all coming to hand here, we see the under 11 boys in lane 3. St. Christopher Primary, lane 4. St. Lucy, lane 5. St. Giles, and out in lane 6, a team from Ignatius Bayer Primary. And they're chasing at 57.08. We said set by the St. George Lions in 2019 as they come under the starters' orders. And it's a good start. St. Christopher, St. Lucy, St. Giles, and Ignatius Bayer.
And these guys chasing 57.08. Record established in 2019 by St. George Primary. Let's watch the hand. Well, we saw some so-so handovers.
This is Shea Gale. Yes, he's running for the St. Christopher team.
Beautiful. That one was a beautiful handover there from St. Giles. Well executed.
Here comes St. Christopher Primary. Young man there from St. Christopher Primary.
Closed the gap.
Yes, he did. And he's given his team a beautiful handover. And they come to the final exchange. And it is St. Giles and St. Christopher. St. Giles, St. Christopher will hold on.
Yes.
He wins it now.
Oh, we must compliment that third leg for St. Christopher. He really was. Oh, yes. Hopefully we'll get to see that replay. But that leg, oh, he was great. Wonderful job. 101.45. That's the winning time for St. Christopher.
102.22 for the St. Giles team, and St. Lucy Primary 107.90. And this is the first of the 2.
There we had it.
Yes.
He brought them right back into the picture ahead of St. Giles.
Number 2, St. Matthew's Primary.
Yes,
and 3,
very good.
Cathedral. In number 4, St. Ambrose. And in 5, St. Stephen. And on the outside, in number 6, Roland
2 more
Edwards.
events.
No, we have one more section for the under 11s and then the under 13s. Yes.
Basically, it should be 2 more races.
Correct.
If you want to say that. Come bring to the curtain for this, the
Holiday Bermudez.
Holiday Bermudez James Wedderburn Zone.
Yes.
And we really want to thank our our sponsors, Chef Foods 2026, Knapsack 2026. Chef Food Distributors, Bajan Pure Purified Water, Rubis Eastern Caribbean SRL, The Nation Publishing Company Limited, Pharmacy Sales Caribbean Inc. for Pedialyte and Pediasure as the young men get ready for the second of these two-time finals, chasing that time of 57.08 for the zone, and indeed 101.45 set by the St. Christopher team. In lane 2, St. Matthew's Primary. Lane 3, People's Cathedral. Lane 4, the team from St. Ambrose. Lane 5, you see St. Stephen's Primary out. In lane 6, the team from Roland Edwards Primary. They were being recalled as I was in the middle of giving you the sponsors. We have West India Biscuit Company for Holiday in the Bermudas. This is their day today. Bryden Stokes for Brunswick, always Tropical Rhythms. Massey Distribution Barbados Limited, the distributors of Milo. General Distributors Inc., distributors of Clean As, O'Shea, Mix May Fruit Bar. As they're off and running this time as a clean start. St. Matthew's, People's Cathedral, St. Ambrose, St. Stephen's, and Roland Edwards Primary. And already the team from St. Stephen's Primary has made up a tremendous amount of ground, and they're off to the races. St. Stephen's Primary coming through on the inside. St. Matthew's, they look strong as well. St. Stephen's, Corn, they're pulling away from them here. A spirited run coming through from the young man from St. Matthew's Primary as they come to the final exchange. And it is the team from St. Stephen's Primary. Let's take a look at the clock. Will they get close to the 101.45 set by St. Christopher? They're now 1 minute. No, they're not going to do it. 1:03.09. Not a bad time at all, but St. Stephen's Primary 103.15 seconds. Second, St. Matthew's 105.55. And third, the People's Cathedral in a time yet to be posted, but here we can see the replay. St. Stephen's Primary from the very first exchange. Michael, you could say it was all done and dusted.
Oh yes, they had some pretty, well, that one wasn't too pretty. Last handover, not bad. And so the team from St. Stephen's, not challenged, really, getting home. And the winning time, 1:03.15. So overall, St. Christopher Primary are the winners of the under 11 boys 4x1, 101.45. Second to St. Giles, 102.22. So those two teams keep going back and forth, but the points are not that significant to make a difference. I think we have our final event coming up. This is the under 13 boys, final one. So this will do it. This will bring the curtain down. This is a curtain stopper. As we said.
Do you want a chance to go to the NAPSACbb finals? Well, Luca Photography is giving away not one, but 2 tickets and a free photo shoot to one lucky winner. All you have to do is follow NAPSACbb and Luca Photography on Instagram and reshare the post. NAPSACbb nice.